Facebook is pulled from behind to now the leader in social networks. They're obviously the preeminent social network of choice for a lot of people. But there's a new study out that says that university and high school students are actually dropping off the social network. And not actually in age, just it might be due to a couple different factors, including they might not list their school as much anymore. But regardless, the question is, can Facebook stay on top? They've obviously, they've started something. Can they keep it going, even with new competitors coming on? We're bringing a couple technology journalists to talk about this. Brian Heater from PC Mag. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Also, we bring in Matt Burns from CrunchGear. Matt, thanks for being with us.
Hi there.
So Facebook, I use it, you guys use it. I think we're all friends on Facebook, hopefully, and yeah, it's good, right? So how long can they stay around? Do you think that kids will stop using them because all the olds are using them, Brian?
Did you just use the term "the olds"?
The olds, like us, we're the olds.
The olds?
We're not in high school.
No, I mean, I think what you're saying here. I mean, it's important to note right off the bat, as you did, that the numbers on Facebook have gone up in every single demographic. It's not like they dropped, below 35 or anything like that. And I think it's accurate that, well, one of two things are happening. Either people are not listening to your schools, or people are just not going to school anymore, which is a problem in and of itself.
Yeah.
But I think it's really sort of in terms of that lower demographic, it's really sort of hit a saturation point, and it's being picked up a lot faster by the older demographic. So
yeah.
it is sort of skewing a little older than it used to.
Well, and that's we see all these technological trends. Once the early adopters have kind of worked out the kinks, you see things like the iPhone skewing older. I think the median age for iPhone users I saw from a recent report was about 40, which obviously makes those Disney apps a little bit less appealing. Matt, what's your take? Do you think that Facebook can stay on top and keep their kind of preeminent cool status?
Well, it's two different questions. I think Facebook can stay on top in terms of subscribers, their subscriber base. They're reaching a lot more people now. But as maintaining the cool status, I think us tech people are going to move on to a different service as soon as something else launches that has the same robust feature set that Facebook does.
Or hopefully the next generation of features, maybe they'll figure out something cool. Do you think that, we've seen Google be able to basically stay number one for the better part of a decade? They're kind of, I guess, Facebook's best example of a company who started out and continued to stay mainstream and still stay, exciting for geeks. I don't know, do you think that there's anything they can learn from Google, or what should Facebook be looking out for at this point?
Well, Google's done really two things. One is maintained a good sense of who they are. They've not really deviated at all from their plan not to be evil. But then at the same time, they've always innovated. They've always brought out new and innovative products time and time again with Google Maps and Gmail and then Google Apps. Constantly, they're innovating. So yeah, Facebook can learn from that. I'm just concerned that as Facebook reaches new people, that it does kick other people off. Like, for example, my mom started using Facebook a few months ago, and she added me as a friend, and I flat out told her, "Mom, I'm not going to be your friend on Facebook. I'm sorry." Yeah. And so that's one of those things where we're meshing generations now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. My dad, I have really older parents. They're in their 70s, and my dad's actually on Facebook. I feel like he doesn't use it as much as he did when he first found out about the service. But the point is, he heard enough about it to actually want to be on board. And sure, he's an early adopter. I actually gave him a G1 for his birthday present last year, and he was super stoked about that. But the point being, all these different people are coming on board. Some of the people who first started using Facebook, especially in the university settings, maybe aren't seeing as much utility. I don't know, Brian, how long have you been using Facebook, and do you still does it still keep that same luster for you?
Is it the luster? No, I mean it's really for me has been eclipsed almost entirely by my Twitter obsession, and I think Twitter obviously has eclipsed Facebook for a lot of people. And if you look at it though, it's weird. It's weird that Twitter still seems to be the hot new app because it's been around for about 2 years now. I think what's going on here is I think people aren't really developing for the web the way they used to. It's interesting that you bring up the G1. I think a lot of the best app developers have really moved on to the iPhone and Android and things like that. So I think the next really hot killer apps that we have we're probably going to be seeing more and more in the mobile space and less on the web.
That's pretty interesting stuff. I mean, I guess that's really a good point. I hadn't even thought of that. I mean, I guess you see interesting apps head to the iPhone. WebOS, all those different things. Doesn't
Yeah,
leave as much
if
people wanting to develop web apps necessarily.
yeah, I mean, if Facebook wants to stay on top, they're going to focus as much of their resources as they can towards the web, I think.
The mobile web and making sure that they're
Yeah.
still number one. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Thanks for joining us. Brian Heater from PC Mag. He's over there doing a lot of different blogs and other stuff. Brian
Keep
Heater.
it busy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also,
I
Matt
gotta go.
Burns from Crunch Gear. So thanks, you guys, for joining us. I'm Randall Bennett, and we'll
Thanks
see you
a lot.
next time. Later.